Welcome, everybody. Nice to see so many of you today. Last week, I bought my ticket to go to Spain to visit my mom in January. And for quite a while, I've been looking at the fact that my mom might not be that well being on her own anymore. So this is a difficult job to do. This is a wake-up call to my inner courage. And as I was contemplating on what's happening inside, I remember that when I was about 10 years old, my granddad died, and my dad brought his mom, my grandmother, to live with us. And as he brought her home, he also brought other things. Among those things, there was a letter from one of the neighbors that he had to give to a relative that lived close to us. So one afternoon, when I was after school, when I was with my grandmother, she asked me to open this letter and read it to her. So I did. So later on, when my dad came home from work, I was playing in my room, and my grandmother told my dad that I opened the letter. So my mom was in the kitchen, and she'd heard this. She came into my room, and she told me what happened. And she also told me that I had to go and tell my dad the truth. So of course, my dad was furious, and I was so scared because those adults in the living room seemed like they were incredibly huge compared to me. And it was really big for me to think that I could go there and confront them. But I got full of courage, and with this empowering energy, I walked into the living room and I told my dad what happened. So as I looked to this, I was thinking about what courage is, what it means. So courage is engaging in every single situation. Courage means that we rise to meet the difficulties that are presented in each moment, knowing that we are equal to them. Though sometimes, like when I was 10 years old, that seemed like it was a big, scary thing for me to do. But when I look back, I realized that I was capable of doing that. So that might be the case. We sometimes forget how scary our situations are, and then we pull from our courage, and then we get through. Also, courage is having the faith that within us there is a force which is essence, is never depleted by any external circumstances or events. That's also something that we need to remember. So our class today is about a wake up, our inner courage. So right from where you are, refresh your posture, roll your inner thighs in, settle into your seat, release your pelvis, release your legs into the floor, and lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. As you draw your attention inwards, think about a situation, internal or external, that needs your courage at this moment in your life, or perhaps even one in the past where you had to be courageous. Settle into the here and now and connect with this energy. This is not an external energy, it's a quality inside you. Connect with your inner strength, with your inner courage. This empowering energy allowed us to see life not as a bunch of difficulties to solve, but as a gift to celebrate. a gift worth to fight for. Please bring your hands together in front of your heart. We're going to chant 3 Oms, 1 round of the invocation, and 1 Om. Please take a deep inhale in. Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. And to the courageous heart we bow. Lift your head, release your hands, and open your eyes, and welcome back. So we're going to move back into our mats, and we're going to start in our child pose, just because it's Wednesday night. Yesterday was because it was Tuesday night, isn't it? So make sure that you go to your mats. Allow your big toes to be touching, knees a little bit wider than your hips, so your whole torso comes inside your knees. And then extend your arms, so your forearms are extended over your mat. Your forehead is releasing into the earth. Take this moment to connect with your breath. Everything you need to experience your fullness, everything you need to achieve the deepest longing of your heart is within you. Within you is all this inner power. Inhale, expand this inner power inside you throughout your whole body. And exhale, press your hands down and lift your hips up, come up into all fours pose. Make sure that your hands are underneath your shoulders, outer shoulders to the middle of the wrists. Lengthen the sides of the body and allow your knees to be right underneath your hips. Knees hip distance apart. Some of you have your knees a little bit wider. Bring them a little bit closer so they are right underneath your sitting bones. Tuck your toes under. And as you take a deep inhale in, lengthen the sides of the body. On your exhale, press your hands down a little bit and then hover your knees off the floor. Just 1 centimeter, just a little hovering off the floor. And then slowly release down into the earth with your breath. Inhale, press your hands down, lift your knees off the floor. And exhale, release your knees down into the earth. 1 more with your breath. Inhale, lift your knees just a little bit, hovering your knees off the floor. And exhale, release down. With your next inhale, extend your left leg back and your right hand forward, right arm forward. As you extend your left leg back, allow your left leg to lift up, so your left leg is parallel to is as high as your hip. Keep your left hip square to the front, palm facing, right palm facing the left. Then soften your jaw, soften your face. Exhale, release your hand, release your knee. With your next inhale, lift the other leg, right leg back, left arm forward. Try to square your hips to the floor. Strong left hand facing your right. Extending, releasing back down into the earth. Move your knees slightly back so they are behind your hips. Tuck your toes under and keeping your knees bent, press your hands down into the earth. Lift your hips up into downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Allow your hands, make sure that the creases of your wrists are parallel to the front end of the mat. Separate your hands a little bit wider from medial. Just a little bit wider so they are shoulder distance apart. Lift your hips a little bit higher. Bend your knees a little bit more. Bend your knees a little bit more forward and lift your hips a little bit higher. There you go, a little bit more. There. And as you stay connected with your breath, sometimes I feel that when I connect with my breath, it depends what's going on, the conversation is different. If I'm a bit anxious, if I'm a bit stressed, or there is something going on, that conversation, the breath stays really fast and shallow. But when the breath is deep and full, if it had words, it would say, everything will be okay. As you inhale, walk your feet towards your hands. Keep your knees bent for now. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Keeping your knees bent. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. Bring your hands to your shins if you can't keep them on the floor. And exhale, release down into the earth. Again, inhale, lengthen the spine, look up. And exhale, release down. With your next inhale, as you press your feet down into the earth, open the arms to the sides, reach up into the sides, up, circle up, reach up into the sky. And then exhale, bring your hands together to your heart. And release them. Make sure that you have a block in front of your mat, on one corner in front of your mat, this block. Make sure that you have it right quick, so where you can grab it very quickly. Okay. And then come and stand in front of your mat. Stay strong in your foundation. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. So stay inside the mat, Jamie. There you go. Take a deep inhale in, circle the arms to the sides, reach up. And exhale, bend forward, touch the earth with your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. And exhale, release. Again, inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, step your right foot back, lunge up. Lower your right knee to the floor. And with the power of your breath, inhale, swing the arms up, Anjaneyasana. Opening the heart in this pose. And exhale, release the hands down into the earth. Lift your right knee off the floor. Step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower your knees down to the floor. Slowly bend your elbows back and your chest forward. Strong core. Slowly releasing down into the earth. Press the top of the feet down. Inhale, swing the heart forward and up. Make sure that your feet are pointing straight back towards the back of the room. And then exhale, release down. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot forward. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Make sure that your right foot comes all the way forward. If not, you help it with your hand. With your breath, with the power of the breath, that power that is inside you. Reach the arms up into the sky. And exhale, release the hands down into the earth. Lift your left knee off the floor. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Stay connected to your breath. Inhale to plank. Lower your knees down to the floor. This time you're going to bend your elbows back and your chest is going to come down to the floor only up to where you can push back up again 3 times. Okay? So lower your chest, shoulders back, make sure that your shoulders are back, draw your belly in, elbows back, just 3 times, all the way, and then after your third one, lower all the way down to the floor. Press your fingertips down to the earth. Press the 10 toenails down into the earth. This time, hug your feet to the midline. Squeeze the legs towards the midline, finding that center that gives you the power in your physical body and the power inside you. As you press your hands down, draw your hands back towards the back of the room. Inhale, swing the heart forward and up into another baby cobra. And exhale, release that. Untouch your toes, Trish. And then inhale, 2 more in your own time. Bring your hands back, Emma. Bring your hands alongside your belly. So your hands are next to your chest. And exhale, release. And then if you finish your last one, touch your toes under. Lift your knees up. Lift your thighs up. Roll your shoulders up and back. Keep your chest away from the floor and your shoulders in line with your elbows. This time you're going to hover your hips off the floor for a moment and then lower down. We're going to do that 3 times. Okay? So you squeeze the legs towards the midline, hands squeezing towards the midline as you hover your hips off the floor. Yeah. So shoulder, elbows back. Make sure that your hands are close to your wrist. There you go. And your wrist in line with your elbows. Yeah. And then after your third one, just lower down into the earth. Okay. So next one, we're going to do the same we do always. Lift your hips off the floor, hover your hips off the floor, and then perhaps finding all that power inside you to extend your arms fully, or lower your knees and then extend your hands fully. So if you're up, lower down into the earth, please. So we'll do it all together. Okay. So eager to do this. So let's just do that. I just want to make sure that your options are clear. So you can press the hands and come all the way up, or if you are bending your lower back, lower your knees down and then push up. Okay? When you're ready. Lift your knees up, lift your thighs up. Squeeze your hands towards the midline, shoulders back, head of the arm bones back. And as you hover your hips off the floor, then press your hands even more, lower your knees down, and then press, come back into half plank, and then up into plank. Lift your knees up. Well done. Well done. Top of your toes. And then up into downward facing dog. Yeah. Well done. Good work. Slowly, walk your feet towards your hands. Come to the top of your mat. And as you press your feet down into the earth, come all the way up to standing, reach up into the sky. And exhale, hands to your heart. And release them. Take a deep inhale in, reach up again. And exhale, bend forward, touch the earth. Take the block that is in front of you, and you're going to hold it in front of you. Your thumbs are on top of the block. Your index fingers are next to the block, to the sides of the block. Squeeze the block towards the midline with your index finger towards the midline. Keep your feet hip distance apart and parallel. With your next inhale, bend your knees, sitting bones back towards the back of the room. Inhale, lift the arms up, squeeze the block towards the midline. Squeeze the shins towards the midline. Breathe deeply, soften your jaw. And exhale, release down. Lift the block to one corner. And then exhale, step your right foot back, lunge pose. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, left leg back, downward facing dog. Keeping your hips high. Move your right hand, just one hand forward. Only your right hand a little bit forward. Keeping your hips high, press your right hand down, step your feet a little bit more forward. Emma, you're a little bit too far, okay. Pressing your right hand into the earth, pressing your hand rooting into your intention. Come onto the outside edge of your right foot and your left foot on top of your right foot or in front of you. So your right foot can be stepped in front of you with your knee bent, or one foot stuck on top of the other. Nice. And then inhale, lift your left arm. Squeeze to the midline. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Well done.
I have a window.
Yes. You let me know if that's enough, okay? And then move your left hand a little bit more forward now. One hand forward. As you press into your left hand now, come up onto the outside edge of your left foot. Right foot in front of you, or stack your right foot on top of your left foot. Spread your toes. Squeeze to the midline. Flex your foot, yeah. And then lengthen your right arm up. Lift on your heels. Yeah, well done, well done. Beautiful, Susie. And exhale, release down into downward facing dog. Beautiful, everybody. Soften into the breath. With your next inhale, connect with that inner power inside you. With your exhale, soften your heart a little bit more towards the earth. Inhale, step your right foot forward, between your hands. If it doesn't get there, help it with your right hand. Hold the block again with both hands. Pull your feet towards each other. Hold the block the same way you did it before. As you pull your feet towards each other, your left knee off the floor. Yeah. And then inhale, lengthen the torso forward, and then up into the sky. Squeeze the block with your hands. Keep your legs strong. Bend your front knee a little bit more. Keep your back leg, top of the thigh back. Bend your front knee. Yeah. And then exhale, release down into the earth. Let the block close to you. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. And exhale, lower your knees down to the floor. Bend your elbows back, chest forward. Releasing, releasing. Belly and chest touches the floor. Nice. Bring your hands behind, interlace your fingers. Draw your shoulders up and back. Squeeze the legs to the midline. Squeeze the hands so the shoulder blades come more on the back. Draw in from your feet to the pelvis. Draw from your fingers into your arms. With your next inhale from the pelvis, lift your chest up away from the floor. From the pelvis, lift your feet off the floor. Squeeze the legs towards the midline. Squeeze your feet together, legs together. Legs together, feet together. Extend your arms towards your feet. Extend your arms towards your feet. Keep a little bend on the elbows. Keep a little bend on the elbows. Yeah. And exhale, release down. Well done. Good job. Dinner again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's okay.
Bring your hands either side of your chest. Tuck your toes under. So this time, find all this power that you can have inside you. Just to hover your hips off the floor. Squeeze your hands towards the midline. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. Shoulders back, shoulders back, shoulders back. And then extend the arms or lower your knees and then push your arms straight and come up into downward facing dog. Well done, well done. With your next inhale, step your right foot forward between your hands. Am I saying that incorrectly? Yeah, we need to do the other. Step your right foot back, sorry. So change. Then hold the block again in front of you. Squeeze the block towards the midline so your arms are active. Keep your legs strong. Engage all the muscles of the leg with your next inhale from the core. Lift your arms all the way up into the sky. So this is Virabhadrasana 1, warrior pose 1 variation. Vira comes from the root word hero. So this is the hero inside you. Allow that hero to come up as an expression of your pose. Exhale, release both hands down into the earth. Step your right foot forward into a deep forward bend. Release the head. Release the spine. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. And exhale, release. Hold the block with your hands again. Squeeze to the midline. With your next inhale, bend your knees and swing the heart forward. Squeeze the hands towards the midline. Engage your core, ribs back. Stay strong, shins towards the midline, hands towards the midline. Open your chest a little bit more. Soften into the breath. Lower your knees a little bit more. And with your next inhale, push your feet down into the earth. And exhale, release the block. And you can let go of the block to one side. Good work. Please take a stand facing this way and take a wide stand, really a wide stand. Your ankle underneath your wrist, that's as wide as you need to take your stand, okay? And then release your hands. Rotate your right foot out. Make sure that your front foot intercepts the arch of the back foot. As you inhale, lift the arms up, make space inside you. Exhale, bend your right knee. Pull your feet towards each other. Roll your inner thighs back so you create space. Move your left thigh back, and particularly keep your left thigh back. Keeping your left thigh back, wrap the outside of your right hip under. Keep your torso in line with your pelvis, so your torso is not moving forward. Extend your back leg forward, and soften your shoulders. Draw from your fingers to your arms, so the shoulders are flat on the back. Shoulder blades are flat on the back. And then inhale, come all out of the pose. Rotate your left foot out, right foot parallel to the short end of the mat. Make sure that the outside of your right foot is parallel to the short end of the mat, so your toes are coming slightly in. Again, let's this time try with balance. How we can find equal weight on both feet. And then when you find that, you just stop and allow that equal weight to be on both legs. With your next inhale, lift the arms up. Make space inside for all that power that is inside you. Exhale, bend your left knee. So keep your arms up unless they are hurting. Bring your toes slightly back. Keep your left knee in line with your left ankle. Most of you can actually lower the knee a little bit more, lower your knees a little bit more, bend your left knee a little bit more. Nice. Soften the face. As you pull your feet towards each other, draw from your fingers through the arms. From the pelvis, extend out through the legs. From the pelvis, extend through the spine, through your fingertips. And inhale, come all the way back up. Rotate your left foot in, right foot out. See if you can keep the same equal weight on both feet. Make sure that your back foot is parallel to the short end of the mat and that your front foot intercepts the arch of the back foot. As you inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend your right knee. Turn your right palm to face up. And then gently lift the left arm up, or right arm up. As you look up, lower your left hand down. Keep pushing the top of the thigh back, and then wrap the outside of the hip under. Do not push with the thumb. This is reverse warrior. And then exhale, come all the way up. Bring both hands behind, interlace your fingers. On your inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. Exhale, bend your right knee, bring your torso inside your right leg. Inhale, lengthen the torso to the side. And on your exhale, bring your arms all the way up and then overhead, towards the floor. Keep your legs strong. Make sure that your right knee stays in line with your right ankle. Lift from your left inner thigh. Lift from your left inner thigh. There. Nice. This is Humble Warrior. We're having a little journey through all the warriors tonight. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Release your hands. Rotate your right foot in, left foot out. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body to reach the arms up. Exhale, bend your left knee. Take a wider stand. Take a little bit of a wider stand. Keep your left knee in line with your left ankle. Yeah. And then rotate the left palm up. Follow it with your gaze, softly. Lift your left arm up as you lower your right hand down towards your right leg. Keep your left knee in track with your second toe. Second, third toe. There. Yeah. So you lift up, look at your left hand. So sometimes as a warriors we have to work or fight a reactive mind. And then inhale, come all the way up, bring your hands behind. Interlace your fingers the other way, the less favorite way. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. Exhale, bend your left knee, bring your torso inside your left leg. Keep your legs strong, pulling towards the midline. Wrap the outside of the left hip under. Lengthen the sides of the body. Inhale, lift the arms all the way up and above your head. Keep a little bend on the elbow. So sometimes as a warriors we have to do what is best to make things right as well. With your legs, inhale, come all the way back up to standing. Release your hands. Rotate your left foot in and then step or jump your feet back together. Come to the front of your mat. Come to the front of your mat. Make sure that your feet are hip distance apart and parallel. Bring your hands to your heart and close your eyes for a moment just to observe and breathe. Observe and feel the energy that you are creating with your practice today. Connect with that inner power inside you. The power of the warrior, the courageous heart. Keeping your hands where they are, open your eyes. Transfer the weight to your left foot this time. Spread your toes on your right foot. Keep your right foot active. Draw in from your right foot all the way to your right hip. On your exhale, from the pelvis, tilt the pelvis forward. As your torso comes forward, your right leg moves back with your heart, with your hands pressing into your heart. So keep your back leg strong. Try to keep your hips square to the floor. Torso forward. Right leg back. Spread your toes, Jill. Spread your toes. Flex your right foot. Flex your right foot. Yeah. Nice, everybody. Bring your torso a little bit more parallel to the floor, Ursula. There. Find the power. Find the strength to come a little bit more deeper into the pose. Square your hips, Irina. Square your hips to the floor. And then inhale. Come all the way up to standing. Keep your hands to your heart. And recognize that power inside you, inside your body. With your legs, inhale, transfer the weight to your right leg this time. Activate the toes on your left foot. Draw in from your left foot to your left hip. And as you push your right foot down into the earth, inhale, lengthen the torso forward, and you extend your left leg back. Press your hands into the heart, finding the endless power inside you. As you bring your torso forward, from the pelvis extend out through the legs, from the pelvis extend through the spine to the crown of the head. Inhale, come all the way up to standing and release your hands. Well done. Good work, everybody. Okay, that was the third warrior. That's the strongest warrior. We're going to practice our handstands now. So we're going to come into this mat here with Ursula. Yes, why not? You need a block this time and 2 friends. So I'm going to need Miriam, will you help me? Miriam is going to look after Ursula's hips, okay? So come into downward dog for me, Ursula. Make sure that your hands are shoulder distance apart. Just stay here for a moment. Okay. Today we're going to practice to find that inner power inside ourselves, and from that inner power make the full expression of the pose. So courage is not about not having fear. It's about being afraid, but do it anyway. Yeah? So we are not actually jumping into something that we don't know what to do. The way to overcome that fear is we find that there is something more important than fear, and we're addressing that. That might be the willingness for you to do this pose, okay? Or just to have fun, or just to try. It could be anything, your intention, all the intentions are valid, okay? But we know what we need to do, and we follow step by step what we need to do to make it safe, okay? So lift your right leg up, Ursula. I'm going to hold my block with my right hand, because with my left hand I'm going to hold her ankle. So you're going to just direct the pelvis there. So press into my hand, flex your foot. Press into my hand, Ursula. Press, and lift up. Okay, I'm going to place the block here, and you're going to squeeze the block strongly. Find the midline. And when you find that power inside your heart, from the back of the heart, down into your hands, from the back of the heart, lift up into the sky. Yeah, stronger into your hands, stronger into the midline, stronger in your heart. And slowly release the leg that is free, and slowly lower the other leg. Yeah, good work. Okay, so hugging into the midline, yeah? We're hugging into the midline, we follow the rules, we follow step by step what we need to do, we make it safe. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's actually knowing that there is fear and you do it anyway, okay? And have fun. If there is anybody who doesn't want to do an inversion today, please let me know and I'll give you something else to do. You don't want to? Okay, I'll give you. Take your block. Take your mat to the wall. Everyone else, find a block and 2 friends. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Or you can do the whole step. Sure.
Try me at your hips.
It's all very touchy-feely.
Get pretty close to get
Whether my hand is which leg's coming up? Give it to me now. Oh yeah, we've got to do now is press down on my hands. Just press down on your chin, your neck will pick up. That's it, go. You did it. You happy, Jill? You go up a bit more. Okay, just bring down the leg and spring. Well done, good try. Another go in a minute. You're there. Which leg do you want to pick up? No, same one. I think I'll be the hip because I feel like I'm not shy. I'm not a weight. Going 2 hands. You're at that She's up. She's up. I've got you. Beautiful. You've got the brick there, Jill. Brick between the legs. Woohoo! Nice one, Emma. Beautiful. I wish we could get a photo of that. Do what you want to do now. I've got you. Good girl. That's beautiful. Very slippery leggings. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a good one. You were exceeding me. You know, you were going past me. Actually, Emma, you get my hips. You know what you're doing. Don't let me go. My weight's gone to the right. My weight's gone to the
If your ankle's straight, Ivy,
here. My weight's going to give way.
Let's do the other leg.
That's it. No,
Okay, Jill, so you put your hands around her hip bones, and I'm just going to hold her legs. She's going to herself. And then sorry, I didn't bring the brick, so I'm going to use my hand.
Right on your
body. Let Emma take your hips.
Go on. And you are on the
You did very well.
Really good first try. You've always got a free leg to down when you want. You're actually only doing 45 degrees. Am I? That's like completely going to go over.
Yeah, it's really.
Free leg down.
Everybody had a go? Nice.
Shall I you? Hold that. And she's up.
Line strength, hugging into the midline. That's it. For her, this is good. Did you feel it this time? If everybody had a go, please come back to your mat. Go back to your mat.
And then I'll bring it up when I'm balanced.
Into downward facing dog.
Did you do it?
Please come back to your mat into downward facing dog. As you take a deep inhale in. Allow your inner power to spread out through your whole body. And with your exhale, soften the heart a little bit more towards the earth. Soften into the breath. But stay strong inside. As warriors, sometimes we have to fight for integrity, compassion, clarity of the mind, because all of those things are more important than fear and the difficulties we face.
slowly walk your hands towards your feet. That might be a little bit of a fight into your reactive mind. Just wanted to give you a little taste of what is reactive mind sometimes. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders up and back. Keep your feet hip distance apart and parallel. Inhale, lengthen the torso forward so it's parallel to the floor. Extend your legs. With your next inhale, draw your belly in, reach back. And as you press your feet down slightly, bring your torso up and release your hands. Take a deep inhale in, reach up into the sky. And exhale, bring your hands towards your heart. And release them. Bring your hands to your hips. Take your right leg forward, just a half step, sort of half step. Square your hips to the front. You have your hands on your hips. Square your hips to the front of the room. If you don't know what that is, really do the movement with your hips. So this is hip open on the left side. This is open on the right side. So try to bring it to a place in the middle. We are finding our strength right in the midline. Try to bring your hips straight and square to the front. Keep that as you press both feet down into the earth. Inhale, lengthen the size of the body. Exhale, bring your torso over your right leg. And again, inhale, lengthen the heart forward. As you exhale, soften your torso over your right leg. And then slowly, you can slowly move your hands towards the floor, perhaps towards the block in front of you. If you can't reach the floor, you don't have to reach the floor.
between Jim's legs.
Step your foot a little bit here forward. I've got the block in. Slowly, slowly, this side. No, this side. There you go. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward, extend the heart forward. Exhale, soften. Keep both legs extended. Your front leg is extended, your back leg is extended. If it's too much, you can step your back leg a little bit more forward. Keep your hips how they are. There we go. Hold on. And again, inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, release a little bit more. There you go. You feel the difference there. Slowly bring your hands to your hips again. With your next inhale, push your feet down into the earth, come all the way up to standing. And then bring your right foot back next to your left foot. And then step your left foot halfway up, halfway forward. Keep your feet hip distance apart and parallel. So you have a hip distance apart, so you have more space to keep your hips square to the front. Again, with your hands on your hips, feel what it's like to have your hips square to the front. With your next inhale, lengthen the size of the body. And exhale, bring your torso towards your left leg. Keep both legs strong. Draw in from your feet through the legs to the pelvis. And then from the pelvis, extend out to the legs. From the pelvis, extend through the spine to the crown of the head. Softly lower your hands down towards the floor, towards your block. Inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Exhale, release. And again, inhale, lengthen the heart forward. Keep your left knee in line with your second toe. The other leg. Left knee. Yeah. And then again, inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, release. One more deep inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release a little bit more. Bring your hands to your hips. Roll your shoulders up and back. And as you press your feet down, swing the heart forward and up. And then bring your left foot next to your right foot. Inhale, reach up into the sky. And exhale, bend forward, touch the earth. Move your block out of the way. And then walk your hands forward towards the front of your room into downward facing dog. Towards the front of your mat. To downward facing dog. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up into the sky. Keeping your right leg strong and your left knee a little soft. Bend your right knee, open your hips to the right. Lift your right knee and bend the right knee. Bend the right knee. Lift the right knee a little bit more, open the hips. Yeah. Try to press both hands equally down into the earth, particularly make sure that the base of the index finger is pressing down into the earth. You're pressing your fingertips down. Inhale, lengthen your right leg back. Square the hips, lower your right foot down into the floor. Inhale, lift your left leg up from your left inner thigh. Bend your left knee, open your hips to the left. As you press your hands down into the floor, from the pelvis, extend out through the legs, from the pelvis, root down into your hands. Open your hips to the left. Inhale, lengthen your left leg up and lower your left foot down into the floor. With your breath, step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower your left knee down to the floor. If you need to fold your mat in half or take a blanket to protect your left knee, please do that. Okay. With your inhale, bring both hands on top of your right knee. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. Keep your hips square to the front. Stay strong on your legs as you pull both knees towards each other. Keep your back toes tucked under, just for now. Bring your left hand to the side, thumb pointing down. Bend your left knee, grab your left foot with your left hand. Inhale, roll the inner thighs in, keeping your left thigh pushing back. Wrap the outside of your right hip under as you bring your left foot towards the outside of your left hip. If your hips are square, your chest is square to the front, inhale, reach your right hand up into the sky. And exhale, release your right hand down, let go of your left foot, come back down into downward facing dog. With your next inhale, step your left foot forward. And then lower your right knee down to the floor. Protect your right knee this time. Bring both hands to your left knee. Keep your hips square to the front. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. Exhale, bring your right hand towards the side, thumb pointing down. Flex your right knee, grab the right foot with your right hand. As you press with your left hand onto your left leg, press your left foot down, right knee down and forward. As you bring your right foot towards the outside of your right hip. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. Exhale, settle into the pose. With your next inhale, lift your right arm up. So that is what I mean by the mind that is racing is reactive mind that wants to do things faster. And slowly let go of your right foot, bring both hands down into the earth. Lift your right knee off the floor. And then step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Again, step your right hand forward, one hand forward into your mat. Press your right hand down into the earth, come onto both sides, come onto the outside edge of your right foot, left foot on top or in front of you. Choose the right pose for you today. Keep your left hand on your left hip for now. Now, quickly, if you are standing on both legs or with both feet stacked on top of each other or one foot in front of you, bring your top foot, your left foot behind, just for a moment, behind you, and just press the ball of the left foot down. As you press, lift your hips a little bit, just stay there, and then exhale, downward facing dog. So try to be courageous and fight your reactive mind. So take a step slowly throughout the class. You will get to the final pose. Step your left hand, one hand forward. And as you press your left hand down, come onto the outside edge of your left foot. Stack your right foot on top, or you can have your right foot in front. Right hand to your right hip. Inhale. So keep your right hand onto your right hip. And as you inhale, step your right foot behind, lift your hips up, turn your belly a little bit up towards the spine. And exhale, release into downward facing dog. Good work. Well done. Take a moment to balance your inhale and your exhale.
Can we open another window?
Inhale. Step your right hand, just one hand forward. Come onto the outside edge of your right foot. Left foot behind already. Ball of the foot. Press your foot down into the earth. Lift your hip up. Extend your left arm up and back. So your right leg is straight. Your left leg is bent. There. Open your heart. Beautiful. Nice, everybody. And exhale back into downward facing dog. Well done. Good work. Soften into your breath. As you step your left hand, one hand forward. Keep your hips up. Press your left hand down. Come onto the outside edge of your left foot. Right foot back. Ball of the foot down. Lift your right heel off the floor. Lift your right heel off the floor. The other one. There you go. And then turn your belly. Lift your hips up. Turn your belly, your chest towards the spine. Extend your right arm towards the front of the room. Beautiful smile. Be wild. And come back into downward facing dog. Well done. Well done. And exhale. Lower your knees down to the floor. Come onto your knees. Or come into child pose. Big toes touching, knees wide apart. And just allow yourself for a moment to observe and feel. Even the excitement. Is that wild thing? That's wild. That's being wild. So we're going to go a little bit wilder now. Okay? So we're going to get into courage, deeper courage now. You can do just exactly what we just did on one side and then the other. I will not give those instructions. Otherwise, you can come with me. We're going to do the wild thing from downward facing dog. So this is called flipping the dog or flip the dog. Some of you are familiar with that. Some of you are not. This might be a deep calling to your inner courage. So the thing about here is that there is a moment where you feel fear, and then you can feel how courage is helping. Or you can stay into the pose the way we just did it, okay? So take a deep inhale in, make up your mind, come up into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up into the sky. Bend your right knee, open your right hips to the right. And slowly, as you lift your right hand off the floor, step your right foot down into the earth behind your left leg. And then lift your hips up, open the heart, and be really wild. And smile, and lift your hips a little bit higher. And then exhale, come all the way back up into downward facing dog. Well done, well done. Good work, everybody. Good to try. Staying from downward facing dog. especially the new people. God, there's a lot of courageous hearts in this room. Lift your left leg up into the sky. Bend your left knee. Open your hips to the left. And as you press your right hand down, lift your left arm up. Come onto the ball of your left foot. Extend your right leg. Make sure that your right leg is extended. And then hug into the midline. Make the courage come. Lift your heart a little bit more. Lift your hips a little bit more. Smile to yourself. Smile to your inner courage. Smile to your inner hero. And exhale, come up into downward facing dog. Good work. Well done. And exhale, lower your knees down to the floor. Well done. Bring your knees to one side and come up to a seated pose. So you are sitting on your sitting bones. Extend your legs forward. Extend both legs forward. Keeping your right leg standing forward. Bend your left knee. Bring your left foot over your right leg. With your right hand, inhale, lengthen your right arm up. So bend your right knee, bend your right knee, bring your right foot to the outside of your left. Yeah. Keep your right leg strong. As you lift your right arm up, lengthen the right side of the body, and then hug your left knee, or bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, or some of you might be able even to bring the armpit close to your leg. Bring your left hand behind, fingertips to the floor. Make sure that you are pressing both sitting downs into the floor. As you inhale, lift the spine. As you exhale, rotate a little bit more to your left. Make sure that your left shoulder is back. Soften and look over your left shoulder. With every inhale, lengthen the spine. With every exhale, rotate a little bit more. And once more. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, rotate a little bit more. So if you hug here, you're going to be comfortable or not. And exhale, come all the way up. Come out of the pose. And then extend your left leg. Bring your right foot over your left leg this time. Make sure that your right foot is pressing down and your left leg is active. With your left arm, reach up into the sky. And on your exhale, rotate and twist to your right. Hold the right knee, or bring your left elbow to the outside of your right leg. Right hand behind, stay on your fingertips. Keep your right elbow a little bit bent. Inhale, lengthen the sides of the body. And exhale, rotate a little bit more. Keep pressing your left foot down into the earth. Press your right hip towards the front of the room. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, release. And then slowly on your next exhalation, come out of the pose and extend your right leg. Bring the sole of your feet together. Bend your knees, bring the sole of your feet together. If your knees are higher than the creases of your hips, please sit on one of the blocks, the wide blocks. So you're tilting from the pelvis. I'm going to close the windows a little bit more because you're going down and it's just getting colder. Is it okay? Anybody cold? No, okay, just a little bit.
It was just hot yoga for a minute there.
It's just hot yoga for a minute. We're cooling down, so I'm just going to leave that one a little bit. So inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, soften. As you draw in from your feet to the knees, to the hips. Extend from the pelvis out through the knees, back to your feet. Bring the soles of the feet together. You have to sit a little bit higher. Just sit a little bit higher. And then keep the curve on your lower back. Keep the curve on the lower back. And then move the pelvis a little bit forward. There you go. And everybody keep lengthening the spine, lengthen the sides of the body. On your next exhale, walk your hands forward. So try not to lift your toes away from the floor. Walk your hands a little bit more forward while you can keep the curve on the lower back and extending the spine forward. So you're not rounding your lower back. Yeah, stay strong. And then tilt from the pelvis. There you go. That might be okay here. Yeah. Yeah, very nice. And again, inhale, draw in from your feet through the pelvis, and from the pelvis extend out through your feet, from the pelvis extend through the spine to the crown of the head. And then slowly press your hands down into the floor, come all the way back up, and release your legs and lie down on your back. If you need anything for your relaxation, because you're men today, if you need anything for your relaxation, just have it close to you. Don't put it just yet, but just have it close to you. And otherwise, you can have your socks. You can have your socks. Nice Christmas socks, yeah. So otherwise, lie down on your backs, bend your knees, keep your feet with distance parallel, just for a moment, to lie down on your back. Bring your right ankle on top of your left knee. Keep your right ankle strong. As you inhale, draw your belly towards the mat. Lift your left foot off the floor. Bring your hands through your legs. Hold the back of your left leg with your hands. Interlace your fingers behind. Keep your left knee bent. Keep your left knee bent for now. But keep your feet active, yeah. Keep your right foot active. As you press your leg onto your hands, resist with your hand. Keep your ankle strong. Yeah. And then move your right knee away from you. Move your right knee away from you. Yeah. Yeah. Right knee towards the front of the room. And your left knee. And your left knee. Keep your left knee. Yeah, there you go. And right knee away. Yeah, really good. Right knee away from you, Susie. Right ankle. There you go. Soften into the breath. Just notice. Is this going on to the outside of your hip? Yeah. Mission accomplished. Right away from the edge. And then slowly lower your left foot down. Bring your right foot down into the earth. And then we do the other side. Left ankle on top of your right knee. Keep your right ankle strong. As you draw your belly in towards the mat, lift your right foot up. Bring your hands in through the legs. Hold the back of your other right leg. Keep your right knee bent. Keep your ankle strong. Open your right knee to the side. There. Keep your ankle strong. Keep your right foot active too. Left knee away from you, Sarah. There you go. Soften into the breath. And remember what it feels like to be connected with that inner hero inside you. So we remember these heart qualities inside ourselves when they are challenging ourselves and when they are not challenging us too. So we can bring these memories to help us to find these qualities again when we need them. Exhale, lower your left foot down into the floor. Release your ankle, right foot down. Separate your feet as wide as your mat. Bring your arms like a cactus, or extend your arms. If cactus arms does not feel good for you, extend your arms to the sides. Okay, so bring your hands back gently. Good. That feels okay? Yeah. As you keep your feet as wide as your mat, keep your knees bent. Keep your knees bent, but feet wide, as wide as your mat. Inhale, bring both knees towards your right. If you find anyone on the way, don't worry, it's just another courageous human being like you. Keep your left shoulder rooting down into the earth. Allow your left leg, left inner thigh to rotate in. That's what it wants to do. And from your left hip, lengthen all the way to your left armpit. Inhale, lift your knees up towards the sky. On your exhale, bring both knees to the left. Keep your right shoulder rooting down. And here, allow the right knee to roll in, the right inner thigh to roll in. Lengthen from your right hip all the way to your right armpit, finding a little bit more space on the sides of the body. Inhale, lift your knees up. Bring your feet hip distance apart and parallel. And as you draw your belly in towards the mat, lift your feet up, hold the outside of your left feet with your hands, bring your arms inside your legs into a happy baby pose. So hold the outside of the feet. And then maybe rock a little bit side to side here. Rolling right, a little bit side to side. Hold the outside of the feet. Allow your knees to open a little bit wide towards your armpits, towards the earth. Root the tailbone down towards the earth. Stay steady into the pose. Allow your feet to open wide. Keep your arms inside the legs. Yeah, keep your arms. You are good how you are there. And lift your feet up. Go, lift your feet up. Hold the outside of your feet. Hold the outside of your feet now. This side of the feet. And allow your knees to open wide. Feet flat, rocking a little bit side to side. Yeah. As you inhale, bring your right heel towards your right sitting bone. And then extend your left leg to the side. It's all right. We need to do the other right sometimes. Yeah. So try to bring your right hand. There you go. I know, this is a challenge for the brain.
I was not so happy.
And then inhale, come back to your happy baby. Stay happy. Courageous heart are also happy. And then bring your left heel towards your left sitting bones. And extend your right leg towards the right side. Yeah. So try to bring, keep your foot strong. Extend the leg that way. That's what it wants to do. Yeah, well done. And then inhale, come back to your happy baby. And then extend your legs, let go of your legs, extend your legs. Take whatever you need for your relaxation. We're not just done yet, but just take whatever you need for your relaxation. And then extend your legs, extend your arms overhead. And as if you were holding the block with your hands like we started the class, or we hold it a few times in the class. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. Squeeze your hands. Bring your hands overhead. Bring your hands overhead. And squeeze the hands towards the midline. If you were having a block between your hands, squeeze the hands towards the midline. Squeeze your legs towards the midline. Draw from your feet through the legs to the pelvis to the back of the heart. Draw from your fingers through the arms to the back of the heart. And find all that power in your heart. And then from the heart, extend through the arms, from the heart, extend through the legs to your feet. And make it a pulsation with every inhale, draw in all this superpower to your heart, from your feet to the pelvis, to the back of the heart, from your fingers to the arms, to the back of the heart. And from the back of the heart, extend out through your legs, extend through the spine, through your fingertips. One more. Draw in powerfully through your feet, through the legs, to the back of the heart. Draw from your fingers, through the arms, to the back of the heart. And from the heart, extend out through your legs, extend through the fingers. And then slowly, allow your feet, separate your feet a little bit wider than your hips. And allow your feet to fall to the sides. Bring your arms alongside your body, palms facing up. Take a moment to feel how the earth is holding you. The way that the force inside you is always holding you. This sacred energy that is always there to hold and support you. Take a deep inhale in. Expand your breath throughout your whole body. With your awareness, visit your whole body. Notice the space around you and the place where you are right now. Slowly make gentle movements with your fingers and your hands, your feet, your toes, reconnecting with your physical body. And when it feels good for you, bend your knees and roll onto your right side, keeping your right arm underneath your right ear. And stay on your side just for a moment. Keeping your pelvis heavy, your abdomen soft, and your heart space open. As you press your left hand down into the earth, come all the way back up to a seated position. Allow the head to be the last part of your body to come up. Come to a cross-legged position. Lengthen the size of the body. And bring your hands together in front of your heart. To finish our practice tonight, we remember the practice of the mat. Take this empowering energy to all aspects of your life where it's needed. So you act from a place of great strength and courage to do what is right, to do your best, and to do what it takes you to a place of freedom and happiness. Remember that you are the hero of your own life. That this energy, this empowering energy, is always available to you, inside you. And together, we'll chant one Om to close our practice tonight. Please take a deep inhale in. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. Namaste. Great work, everybody. Well done.